The Chase Sapphire Preferred is one of the most popular travel credit cards on the market. But let me be honest, if you're not using it the right way, you're just throwing away $95 every year. I've had this card for 4 years now, and while I think it has some problems, there's a reason I still hold on to it. Actually, there's kind of a lot of problems, but by using a few key strategies that I'll go over in this video, I make sure I get way more value than I pay for. Today, I'll break down 7 ways you can maximize your Chase Sapphire Preferred and squeeze at least an extra $100 in value every single year. So let's start with the first and probably easiest way to boost the value you get from this credit card. Theoretically, the easiest way to cut down the effective annual fee by half every year is by using the Chase Travel Portal hotel credit. With the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you'll receive $50 of hotel credit every anniversary year. However, the biggest catch with this credit is that you have to use it within the Chase Travel Portal, and that already can be a problem. Also, you do not earn reward points on the $50 of purchases when you do use this credit. For example, let's say your hotel comes out to $250 in total. So then, of course, you charge that to your Chase Sapphire Preferred card. After a few business days, you get that $50 hotel credit. So essentially, you only paid $200 for that transaction. And since it's a purchase through the Chase Travel Portal, you earn 5x points, which means you get $200, right? The transaction, $200 times 5 or 1,000 Chase points from that purchase. You don't times 5 from the $250 because you have to subtract the $50 hotel credit. And you might be wondering, why is going through the Chase Travel Portal so bad? You literally get $50 of hotel credits every year, and it cuts down the annual fee to $45 if you use that credit. Well, the biggest problem with going through the travel portal is that sometimes hotel prices are going to be more expensive than if you looked elsewhere, like booking directly or using other sites like Expedia. I know you probably have heard that before, that, oh, booking through the Chase Travel Portal is always more expensive. They always inflate their prices since you have to go through a middleman, blah, blah, blah. But I want to say that yes, that's the case sometimes, but not every time. Personally, my experience with the Chase Travel Portal specifically has been hit or miss. Sometimes prices are more expensive through Chase, but sometimes it's the same price, and sometimes it's even cheaper to go through the Chase Travel Portal. My recommendation is to always compare prices when you're looking to book your next trip. If you've got the time, it doesn't hurt to spend 5 or 10 more minutes to compare prices through Chase Travel Portal, through booking directly, or through Expedia or other agencies. Or even better, if you really want to save money and you're cheap like me, you could book the cheapest price the day that you look up whatever hotel you're trying to look up, and make sure it's a refundable rate. Then the days leading up to your trip, or until the last day that you would get a refund on that rate, you could constantly check hotel prices on different sites and see if the price went down than what you already paid for. And then you just book another refundable rate. Or if you're really set and happy with that price, just book it for real. That way you could cancel your first booking and just keep rebooking and getting a cheaper price if there are available. And then you kind of just continue that process to make sure you eventually get the cheapest price available. And to help prove my point, here are a few quick examples showing you different prices when you book through the Chase Travel Portal, and that it's not always more expensive. The first example here is at the Grand Hyatt in Denver. If you were to book through the Chase Travel Portal, the total comes out to $549. Or if you were to book it directly with Hyatt, your total would also come out to $549. It's for the same room, the same dates, and the same refund policy. So of course, this would be a great time to use the hotel credit from your Chase Sapphire Preferred card since the prices are the same. But I also found an example where the Chase Travel Portal is actually cheaper than the other options. Here we have another random hotel. It's the Omni Houston Hotel, which will cost you $1,069 through the Chase Travel Portal. However, if you try booking directly, it's going to cost you $950. Same room, same dates, but there's one big difference, or maybe it's not a big difference, but there is one small big difference. The refund policies are different. Through the Chase travel portal, you could get a refund all the way up until April 30th, whereas booking directly, you'll get a free refund all the way up until April 25th. Does having 5 more days of a refund policy mean anything to you? If not, then book directly. But if you do want to have a few extra days, extra time to think about or to find a cheaper price, then you could book through the Chase travel portal. And the crazy thing is, if we were to look up the same hotel for the same room and the same dates on Expedia and even the same refund policy, it will actually cost you $1,159. So the Chase travel portal has the cheaper price amongst those 3 options when you compare apples to apples. Okay, sorry for spending so much time on just this one benefit, but I wanted to show you that it is possible to get value from this credit every year and that you should always check different pricing options if you're trying to save money, at least. But now let's move on to the next way to get value from your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. The next thing to do to maximize your value is actually related to its reward categories. Specifically, I will help you maximize the online grocery store and the streaming service categories, which both earn 3x Chase points on your Sapphire Preferred Card. Chase is infamous for not giving us a solid grocery store category on any of its credit cards. And although this tip that I'm about to share with you isn't a 100% workaround for everyone, at least it could potentially help some of you out there and your current grocery store habits. Here is a list of grocery stores and the methods you need to use in order to get 3x Chase points on those purchases. If you shop at Publix, download the Publix app and link your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card, then pay using the app at the register to trigger the 3x category. Similarly, if you go to Kroger, use Kroger Pay with your Sapphire Preferred, and you'll also earn 3x points, which some people noted it works at Ralph's as well. And at Walmart, if you have the Walmart Plus subscription, you could use the Scan and Go feature, which apparently also will allow you to earn 3x points that way. If you order groceries through Instacart, that will work as well. Lastly, if you have an Amazon Fresh physical store, link your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card to your Amazon app and set it as the default card to pay with the in-store QR code. Actually, if you have a grocery store that I didn't just list, I would advise you to try and order through their app or online for curbside pickup and see if you could get the 3x category. Of course, this list can change over time, so if you want to be extra safe, try this out with a smaller transaction first, or always check after you use any of these methods to see if you actually are earning the 3x points or not. That takes care of some of your grocery store needs, but now I'll show you how to get 3x points on your streaming services or the other subscriptions that you might have and already paying for. Of course, your typical popular streaming services will already earn 3x points, like at Netflix, Spotify, YouTube Premium, Apple Music, and so on. I mean, that just comes with the inherent streaming service category on the Sapphire Preferred Card. But if you have an iPhone, take a look at all of these subscriptions that you currently have attached to your account. You can do that by following this screenshot here, which basically shows you how to see your subscriptions in your settings on your iPhone. So if you pay for any apps, whether you're buying an app, like your kid wants to buy Angry Birds, or if you're paying for a subscription through the App Store for an app, then you can make sure you charge it to your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. This also goes for if you pay for iCloud storage as well. All of those things will then trigger the 3x streaming service credit and you'll earn elevated points on those purchases. Funny enough, this so-called hack is not limited to just the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. If you already have other cards out there that earn points on streaming services or they give you some sort of streaming service credit, then this trick would most likely work for those credit cards as well, so give it a shot. With those elevated reward multipliers covered, I'm going to move on to the next benefit, which is actually also food related. Currently, the Chase Sapphire Preferred will give you a free Dash Pass membership until December 31st, 2027. Of course, this only really benefits those of you who are already paying for a Dash Pass membership, or for those of you who like to order through these food delivery apps. In order to activate this, all you have to do is to add your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card to your DoorDash account and use it as the payment method. Even if you add your Sapphire Preferred to your Dash Pass account or your DoorDash account, and if you use a different credit card to pay for that meal, you will not receive the DoorDash benefits. You have to make sure you're actually paying with the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. On top of that, every month you get a $10 credit to use on non-restaurant DoorDash orders. This credit actually can be super useful because you could use it at convenience stores and for grocery orders. Keep in mind that when you use it, you have to use all $10 of it, as you could only use this credit once per month. So let's say your order comes out to $5. Don't use this credit because you're only going to get $5 of that credit. Instead, save it for a larger order later on in the month, or just add $5 more worth of stuff to that order so you get a total of $10 and you can use the entire $10 credit. I think the best use of this credit for most people is to see if you could use it at a convenience store and select the pickup option as opposed to getting it delivered to save on fees. Hypothetically, if you can make use of this $10 credits every month, then this benefit alone will pay for your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. You'll get $120 worth of credit on a $95 annual fee card. Yes, it's kind of a niche feature or benefit to have, and it's not the easiest to use, but I just wanted to show you how it's possible to get positive value from this credit card using just one benefit. But for this next benefit, let's move back towards the travel side of things, and let's talk about booking travel through the Chase Travel Portal. Again, the Chase Sapphire Preferred will give you an automatic 1.25 cents per point on any travel redemption made through the Chase Travel Portal, using your points, of course. This includes hotel purchases, flights, cruise lines, and even rental cars. If you are someone who wants an easy way to redeem your Chase points for travel while still getting okay value, or if you're someone who travels a lot with a family or with a group of 3 or more people, then this option might be appealing to you. Using this benefit is super easy and straightforward. Head to the Chase Travel Portal, find your hotel, flights, etc., and just pay using your points. Although, once again, if you are someone who is trying to get the best price or the best value for your points, I would advise you to compare prices outside of the Chase Portal as well. Because let's say you find a flight through the Chase Travel Portal that costs $1,000 total, which means at a 1.25 cent per point ratio or value, it's going to cost you 80,000 Chase points. But you could find the same exact flights booking directly with the airline at a price of $800 cash. Then you have to ask yourself, do you really want to only pay with points, or do you want to pay with cash? Because it's cheaper to book using the direct method instead. Or you could take it even a step further, and we're gonna get a little bit more complicated here, but you could take the same 80,000 Chase points that you would have spent on the flight through the travel portal, and then you redeem it for cash back to your bank account for $800 worth of cash. Because when you redeem Chase points for statement credit or for cash back, it is at a 1 cent per point value. So 80,000 Chase points equals $800 cash. But once you redeem it for cash, you go ahead and pay for that flight using your credit card and earn 2x points on that $800 purchase, which means in both scenarios, whether you're booking through the Chase Travel Portal using points or booking directly using cash, you're gonna be using 80,000 Chase points. But when you book it directly and use those points for cash back, you'll actually end up with more points than if you were to use all of those 80,000 points through the travel portal, right? Because you're earning 1,600 points from the $800 purchase on a 2x travel category. I'm sorry if that confused you, because it does get complicated, but if you wanted to be super nitpicky like that, then you can. Once again, there's options. But let's say you want to get more than 1.25 cents per point of value by using your Chase points to book travel. What else can you do? That brings us to the next way to maximize your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card, which is to transfer your Chase points to one of Chase's travel partners. With the Sapphire Preferred, you can unlock the ability to transfer 1 Chase point to become 1 point in the Transfer Partners program. Here's a list of Chase's transfer partners right now. So for example, 1 Chase point would equal 1 Hyatt point, or 1 Chase point can be turned into 1 United mile, and so on. Objectively speaking, using your Chase points to book travel by transferring them to a transfer partner will give your Chase points the most value possible. Once again, objectively. You could see cent per point values of 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, all the way up to 8 or 10 cents. But of course, there's a catch with all this. Transferring your points to a transfer partner and getting a good redemption that works with your travel itinerary takes a lot of work and sometimes a lot of time. Also, it's significantly harder to get multiple, let's say, business class flight tickets on the same flight if you're traveling with other people. I don't know how much harder it gets, but let's just say every person you add, it gets twice as harder. Okay, that's kind of dramatic, but it's not twice as hard, but it just gets harder the more people you want to travel with if you want to transfer them to a transfer partner and use those to book business class flights. I have made multiple videos in the past explaining how I personally used Chase points to get tens and thousands of dollars worth in business class flights and how you could do it too. But once again, I was doing it by myself. I had a flexible travel itinerary, so there's stuff to think about. But the good news here is that you could also transfer points to a travel partner and use it for economy seats. You don't always have to be using it for business class or first class seats and get the best cent per point value, blah, 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 blah. Because sure, booking flights through a transfer partner, economy seats specifically, you could still get higher than the 1.25 cents per point value that you would have normally got if you just use those points to book travel through the Chase travel portal. However, I will say if you do have the Chase Sapphire Preferred, or if you want to get the Chase Sapphire Preferred, I would highly suggest trying to at least redeem your points once by sending them to a transfer partner, because you do get a lot of value from doing so. Of course, once again, I'll say this, your mileage may vary and your specific lifestyle and situation will vary. So if you have a bunch of kids and a lot of family that you're trying to travel with, maybe you can't find a redemption. But if you're single, if you're willing to go on a little getaway by yourself for some reason, take a look at transferring them to a transfer partner and try and get at least the best value you can from your Chase points. Because as a matter of fact, many people, including myself, have or get the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card primarily just to unlock this feature alone, to get access to Chase's travel partners. Now I want to talk about a benefit of this credit card that you might not have put too much thought into. It is the travel protections and insurances that come with a Chase Sapphire Preferred. I don't want to waste your time talking about all the specifics of each travel and purchase coverage that comes with this credit card, as I'll only go into detail on the ones that will probably make the most sense for you most of the time. But here is an overview of all the different coverages and protections that are available. You have trip cancellation / interruption insurance, auto rental coverage, baggage delay insurance, trip delay insurance, travel and emergency assistance, purchase protection, and extended warranty protection. A popular coverage benefit that comes with a Sapphire Preferred is primary auto rental car coverage insurance. This benefit is only really useful when you go out and you have to rent a rental car. What Chase does different than some other credit card companies, Amex, is that they provide primary car rental insurance as opposed to secondary car rental insurance without having to pay extra. Primary coverage is better than secondary coverage. They are not the same thing. Primary car rental insurance means your personal car insurance, the one that you have on your own car back home, does not have to get involved. So that means your premium is not going to go up. In order to be eligible to receive primary car rental insurance, you're going to have to deny or not buy car rental insurance through the rental car company and then charge the car on your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. Another helpful travel insurance benefit to take advantage of with this card is trip cancellation / interruption and protection. If your trip gets canceled or cut short by something like injury, sickness, severe weather, etc., then you could be reimbursed up to $10,000 per covered traveler for things such as prepaid, non-refundable travel expenses like flights, hotels, tours, and other activities. Or if your trip is delayed by 12 hours or more, or it requires an overnight stay, you're covered for unreimbursed expenses such as meals and lodging up to $500 per covered traveler. In order to be eligible to use these types of insurances or coverages, you have to have paid a portion of your trip using the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. You are not eligible for these protections if you use Chase points to transfer them to a travel partner and you redeem travel that way. Although if you use Chase points through the Chase travel portal to redeem for travel, then yes, you are still covered and eligible for these protections. If you want more detailed information about what's covered and what's not covered and how to be eligible for a claim and how to file a claim or anything related to your Chase Sapphire Preferred protections and insurances, I would recommend looking up, just go on Google and search up the guide to benefits for the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card. You'll find a PDF file that will explain everything that you need to know. Before moving on to the last way to maximize your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card, I have two bonus small little things that can help make this card more valuable to you. The first of those bonus tips is to take advantage of Chase offers. A lot of credit card companies now offer these so-called offers where you earn extra cash back or extra points or statement credits when you buy from certain establishments. These offers are free and you can just add them to your credit card whenever you want, and you can find them online or through your Chase app. Remember that these things are for a limited time. They aren't permanently attached to your credit card or anything like that, but sometimes you'll see Chase offers that are actually good and make sense for you, like maybe an Expedia discount or McDonald's elevated multipliers, so on. These offers are constantly rotating, so I would advise you to check them at least, I don't know, like once a month or so to see if you can take advantage of any of them. And the second smaller bonus tip about the Sapphire Preferred is that you earn bonus Chase points equal to 10% of your total purchases made the previous year. So if you spent $10,000 in a year, like let's say last year on your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card, you'll get a bonus of 1,000 Chase points. Essentially, this makes each reward multiplier on the Sapphire Preferred go up by 0.1. So travel purchases are technically a 2.1 reward multiplier instead of just 2. Restaurants are 3.1 multiplier instead of just 3, and so on. But in all honesty, this is pretty much a nothing burger. 10% bonus points on your purchases is not going to be a significant difference, trust me. I'm not sure why Chase added this to the credit card. Maybe it persuades people to spend more on this card versus on another card, but in reality, people, it's not going to make a big difference. It's not something to trip about. If you really want to earn more Chase points though, my advice to you is to pair your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card with other Chase credit cards. Specifically, the Chase credit cards that go well with the Sapphire Preferred are the Chase Freedom Flex, Chase Freedom Unlimited, Chase Ink Business Cash, Chase Ink Business Unlimited, and Chase Ink Business Preferred, which actually could replace the Sapphire Preferred. So maybe you just need either the Ink Business Preferred or the Sapphire Preferred. You don't need both. And the reason why these credit cards go well with the Sapphire Preferred is because you could transfer all of your Chase points from those credit cards to your Sapphire Preferred. That then allows you to take advantage of the 1.25 cent per point value redemption option when you book travel through Chase Portal, and the option to send your Chase points to one of Chase's travel partners. With those other Chase cards, you'll be able to cover a wider range of reward categories, which means you could also earn more points on all those different types of transactions or spend. So it basically rewards the spend that you're doing by putting it on another one of those Chase cards. Then you're gonna funnel all those points to your Chase Sapphire Preferred Card, where you're gonna redeem them for travel using those Sapphire Preferred exclusive travel redemption options. And then the second way that it helps you out by getting all these other Chase credit cards is that you're getting sign-up bonuses for all of those other cards, which is the fastest way to get a huge lump sum of credit card points. Now you have at least 7 different ways to use the Chase Sapphire Preferred Card and get over $100 worth of value with it every single year. That way you can make this card pay for itself, and justify its $95 annual fee. And since you're interested in Chase points, or maybe you already have Chase credit cards already, watch this video here where I'll go over all the different ways to redeem your Chase points, including a step-by-step guide on how to get the most value of them for your specific situation. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Shoots.